Okay, call to order.
Beckwith,
Here.
Caldwell, absent. Farkapithi,
Here.
Kedman,
Here.
Kotsinis,
Here.
Linsdale,
Here.
Sutton.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
The Warren Newport Public Library District provides the community with access to information, kindles the imagination of children and adults, and supports lifelong learning. Anyone like to make a public comment? Okay. Is there correspondence?
No, we don't have any correspondence.
All right, anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda? Okay, then can I have a motion to, what?
The minutes, Tom Caldwell wasn't here, so he doesn't have to remove the minutes, right?
Right,
Because
that's
he's not
right.
here.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
So can I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Does one of you want a second?
I'll second it.
The other one.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay, my report is on page 25. Questions, comments, concerns? I do have one other thing to add to it, which is that I received a phone call from a person of my acquaintance who told me that she had a wonderful experience at the circulation desk with regard to a fine. And she has a situation in which her children often come to the library with their grandmother, and then somehow the books, she doesn't know about them, and so she had a big fine. Anyway, I think it was Meg who helped her. And she said Meg was really wonderful to her, and she wanted me to know what great service she had gotten at the circus. So she got new cards, and now she can get text messages when she has things overdue, so she was very excited. And I just wanted to share that with the board. It was a nice kudo for Cirque and for Meg. So, anyone else have a report?
I do.
Please.
I was lucky enough to be here during the annual tornado drill.
Oh, how fun.
So I was about to leave and and I thought, oh, how lucky, I'll stay for that. But it was very orderly. We got, I don't want to say, ushered into the middle part of the library where the nonfiction stack of books are, because there are no windows, and there were little kids there, and Eddie made sure that everybody was happy, and it was over almost before it started, but we all complied, and I just thought how lucky I am to be here at the one time a year it happens.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, right.
Anyone else?
Yeah, we just want drills. We don't want.
Just want
We
drills.
just
Right.
want the drill.
Oh, thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, committee reports, 27, 28. Anything on those? Nothing? Okay. Ryan.
Yes, there's a lot in the executive director's report because it has the strategic plan progress report. Unfortunately, what's in your packet, it doesn't have the highlights. So just to summarize, of the 39 action items, 20 are complete, 12 are partially complete, and then 7 are in progress, not started. So we talked about this was a pretty ambitious strategic plan, and essentially we've extended it a year. So I feel good about that. And as you might recall from previous meetings, Jan Marsh, who is working part-time as special projects coordinator, she is tackling a lot of these action items that are either partially complete or in progress, not started. So.
Ryan, could you say one more time, 12 complete, how many partially?
So 20 complete,
Oh,
12
20.
partially complete,
Okay.
and then 7 in progress, not
Okay,
started.
thanks.
Anything else?
I think
Anyone
that-
have any questions? Anything else about the Ryan's part?
I guess the other thing to mention is, and it's in the report, but it's worth saying, especially for the people at home that may be watching. The Matthew Cordell celebration was great. So Matthew Cordell is our local patron, that's Children's Illustrated, that won the Caldecott Medal. So it was a really nice event.
It was
The
super
majority of us at the table
wonderful.
were there, so fantastic turnout.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
And it was just a great event, so. just
He
these-
was a wonderful presenter
Yeah.
too, I thought. He
Yeah.
was funny and he was self-deprecating
Yes.
and he let the kids just ask any question they wanted to ask. It was super fun.
Yeah, it was
I thought
fun.
he did a
And
wonderful
I like how he
job.
addressed them. He said, my younger friends, or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Like, something that lifted them up, and rather than,
Talk down to him,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
No,
He wasn't
very
interested,
welcoming.
interested in us adults. This is younger friends.
Yeah.
Okay, new business. So we're gonna continue our fine-free discussion and with possible action. The Ryan's summary is on page 55. You want to talk about that?
I think it's clear that when we started this process, I wasn't sure I felt about it 100%. And as I say in the memo, I thought it was a good idea, but the thing that was holding me back really was the loss of revenue. But as I say in this memo, I think a couple weeks ago when George said, and I'm paraphrasing, when he talked about the mission of the library and how it's to provide the community access to information, I think that really struck a chord with me to put those hesitations aside. Because at the end of the day, this is something, having these fines is preventing us from doing our mission fully at the end of the day. It's just that simple. So there are a lot of reasons listed here, but for me, that's the biggest reason where I want to make clear that it's my strong recommendation for the board to take action to eliminate overdue fines. So that's what I believe in, and now the decision's in your hands, so.
Ryan, I wanted to just say that access increases equity that you mentioned really struck home to me, because that's exactly right. We're keeping people from the library who most maybe need it, and I liked that phrase a lot.
What else do other people want to add, please?
I really liked your summary, Ryan. I was kind of the same way at the beginning. I was kind of like thinking that fiscally we need to be very responsible. But, I really also realized that, I'm in a situation where I can probably pay fines, but we've probably got a lot of people in the district who can't or would struggle more, and particularly the younger people. So I'm ready to vote when everybody else is. But I appreciate your thorough review of the
Yes.
issue.
What else?
I agree.
Go ahead.
Just the sheer number of patrons that are currently blocked from using our library because of these fines is shocking to me.
Yeah.
That's not something I expected when we started looking into this.
Right.
And honestly, I understand that this is a good chunk of change that we'd be giving up. But what are we gonna spend it on if nobody's coming in here to use it? So,
Yeah, 18% of our, that's just too much. That's a fifth, I think, is what Ryan said, right?
Well, approximately.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else who hasn't spoken want to say anything? So would anyone like to make a motion on this?
I move that Warren Newport Public Library go fine-free. I don't know what the verb would be in there, but I'll say go fine-free.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? Let's have a roll call maybe, huh?
Farkapisi,
Nay.
Kedman,
Yes.
Kotsinis,
aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Nay.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay. All right, policy 2040. Oh, let me just ask now, as it unfolds, your methodology, we'll hear about how that's gonna.
Oh, yeah, this
Yeah.
is not something that happens tomorrow.
Right,
Let's
right.
be very
It'll
clear.
take a while to roll it out, right?
I mean, I don't even want to give you a date. I mean, it's going to
No, I
take,
understand.
it's going to take months.
Yeah.
So
That's
this
okay.
will not
All right.
happen overnight. And it's not going to happen before the school year, I'm sorry. So it's going to take some time.
All right. Anyone else have any other questions about it? Okay. Okay, 2040 is on page 57. We had this at committee of the whole. Let me just
went over, we talked about it, but we just took it off the consent agenda.
Right, because it's financial, right. So would anyone like to make a motion on this, please?
I move that we adopt the wage scale policy 2040 as presented.
I second.
Any further discussion? Let's have a roll call for this too, please, okay, since it's money.
Katsinis,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Ketman,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, adoption of the budget.
I'm looking for
Page
it.
59.
Page, yeah, 69.
Let's have a motion first before we have discussion, okay?
I move that we adopt proposed budget for 2018-2019 as presented.
I second.
Okay, discussion? Questions? Do you have anything you want to say further?
It's the same budget we looked at.
It's
Yeah.
the same,
Yeah.
yeah, the one difference, which is a minor one, is that we shifted, snow removal into liability. I mean, it doesn't change the bottom line, it's just a
Why did
shift.
we switch snow removal to liability instead of buildings?
Because that,
That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
well, because that's one of those things that you can't, because it is a liability, if you think about snow removal, we don't clear.
No, it
the-
isn't. I think of it as grounds and greens. I don't think of it as a liability at all. How
Well,
is it a
the-
liability?
If we don't do a good job of snow removal and patrons are falling,
We have insurance for that.
well,
That's
we'd like to avoid that to begin with.
But snow, are we?
The reason
To me,
to-
it's like you're juggling to balance funds. It's not really a reflective of what really happens.
Right, I mean, that was partially one of the reasons to do it, to spend more down in public liability versus building states and maintenance. But it's perfectly legal for us to do that.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. I think it throws off maintenance. And it makes the numbers look weird because it's not a liability. I've never seen it classified as a liability.
Sure. Do you want to switch it back? I mean, it just.
I would rather see it corrected to one fund over and one fund the other way around. Because when you start reclassifying things from one fund to the other, they're no longer comparable from one year to another.
That's a point.
I think though, it's, well, I mean,
Don't organizations always move things around in the budget? I mean, my experience in corporate, that's what we did, so you're saying you're not comfortable with that, I guess I'm
No,
just.
to me, it's playing with the books. It's
Okay.
cooking, to me, it's not fraudulent, but to me, it's cooking the books, making it look better when really not reflecting what actually happens.
Okay,
Even though the money's, it stays the same, it's just that it looks different out of different funds. That's
Yeah,
what
because
you're
it's not a liability. And how is it a liability?
If we don't,
Well,
The-
but if we also don't do,
well, both library attorneys I've worked with, our current attorney Roger Ritzman and Phil Manzini, when they talk about, when you're doing your budget, public liability, anything that falls into that area, whether it be snow removal, obviously security's there, those things are, you could put insurance, any of those things can go into the liability fund. That's a, it's a liability. It really is.
I don't agree. Well, you
Right.
can keep telling me from now
This-
till the
this
end
is-
of
yeah,
time that it's a liability, and I will always think of it
Sure.
as a maintenance.
Sure, fair enough, and this is what the library attorneys have told me. They told me it could come out of either fund, so take that for what it's worth.
And I give it absolutely zero value. 'Cause
How are other libraries in the area classifying snow removal?
I don't know off the top of my head,
We'll probably
George.
have to
It doesn't
I
matter
think
to
it-
me.
I think it
If
varies.
The whole world, every library in the world can class it wherever they want. We've always classified it under maintenance. I want to continue to classify it under maintenance. It's not a liability. Insurance is a liability, other things are for liability. This has to do with maintaining the property.
And I agree with Andrea. I would prefer to keep it under maintenance.
Does anyone else have an opinion
If we start
about this?
moving things from fund to fund, just to make sure it all looks good, to me,
Well,
that's
could you
just,
keep it in liability then for the following year to show the?
so we should be wrong
No,
forever?
I know what you're saying, but you're also saying there's no way to compare and contrast it then from year to year. But if you kept it in liability then for the next few years or something, you could. I understand the premise, because it appears much more buildings and grounds. But I'm just saying, would it,
I completely disagree with it. And you're not gonna get me to agree just so that the funds balance and look pretty. I would always rather be completely forthcoming with what is properly classified and suffer the consequences of being have a negative fund you can't have a negative fund, well,
Would we have a negative fund balance if we moved it to the other fund?
No, it's just that, you know, when looking at the funds, trying to, you know, the rule of thumb I try to live by, which I've been advised to do, is to try not to have those, basically more than half of what you need to, or excuse me, more than what you need to spend in a given year on liability. So for example, if we were to shift it back, what does that make that do? Is that 28.4? So that makes it 159.8, and that's over the beginning balance we had coming into the year of 144. So, and just to be clear about this, you know, I mean, we could shift it back, but then that's over, you know, what at the end of the year what we had coming into the year, which I've been advised is not best practice. And number two,
but the fund balance will be lower at the end of the year than it was at the beginning of the year.
And number two, with the budget narrative, I mean, it's in the narrative that the money's being shifted. This isn't something that, I mean, you know, I'm being very transparent about this. This wasn't
No, I'm
something.
not saying
Sure.
you aren't, but I didn't realize the budget was changing from the last time I looked at it. And that's my fault, but I don't agree with it.
Do you not agree with it enough that you would vote no?
Are we?
I not agreed enough with it that I would prefer to amend the
approval?
The motion.
The motion.
Okay.
I was just asking because I think it would be nice if we were all
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause
unanimous
if-
on that.
On that,
George would,
yes.
I'd have to amend the motion.
or withdraw the motion if it might be
just-
easier.
I need to know exactly what I'd be amending, so. How about this? I will withdraw my motion. And Andrea, if you would like to make a motion.
I move to accept the budget as presented with the amendment to move snow removal back to, is it maintenance? Is that the fund?
Yeah, I think it was in building systems
Maintenance.
before.
Building
From-
sites and maintenance.
To building sites and maintenance from liabilities as originally presented.
And
Can
I'll
you
second.
repeat it again, please?
No. I move to,
Approve the
Accept
vote.
Accept is what I think we
I
said,
move
but then
to
amend.
approve the budget
Yeah.
Accept the
as
amend.
presented with the amendment of reclassifying snow removal from liability to
Buildings.
Building sites and maintenance.
building sites and maintenance.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? I guess I don't understand. I don't understand why you feel so strongly about it. I don't get it.
Because to me, it's like you're moving things around just to make them look better. And it's window dressing.
But
When-
we're not saying
Is that what
we
Ryan's
have
doing, though?
any more money or any less
No.
money, right? And
But
it's still a
it's fund
balanced budget.
accounting. Each fund should stand on its own. And if the building maintenance is costing us more money and the fund is being drawn down because the building maintenance is weighing it down, it doesn't help us keep track of it if we're moving it over to liability.
So whatever categories we have in the places they live,
I'm not
And
saying
never
they can
change?
never, I'm not saying can never change. If
Well,
there's a
under
good-
what circumstances could it change?
Well, if the law, like we've created a new, like, let's say the law changed, and, because we have a different fund for pension. And if the Illinois statute changed to change the way those are taxed, we would change it. But you're not gonna change payroll over to liability, because, well, if we didn't fund this one payroll position, it could create a liability because nobody's watching the children in the children's department. Let's throw that in liability. What can we not stretch a reason to throw in a different fund if we really tried to bend over backwards to do it? And to me, I don't care how you look at snow removal, it's maintenance.
Okay.
So why, I don't see, just because the fund balance is not the way you want it to look, to move it.
Right.
Well-
I'm torn, but go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, it's also that impacts what's left over in building sites maintenance going into the next year. Then it drops to under $100,000. So I might recommend that we shift, capital equipment for building sites and maintenance into special reserve fund, if we're gonna make this change. Because that's one of the other reasons that we did it too. And this was something that Doug and I discussed when we were doing looking at the budget, the final stages of the budget. And this is something that's been done before, and Andrew, I apologize for not confirming with you before. I didn't think it was going to be an issue. So that's the other thing as well. Just trying to keep those balances, like, of all the funds at a healthy level, going, looking ahead to going into the next fiscal year was also part of the decision-making process too.
Well, I just think you're losing track of expenses, and it's just, it goes against every grain of my body to move things just so they look pretty.
Okay.
It just, to me, it's not representative of what really occurs.
Just a very quick question. There's nothing preventing us from moving money from one fund to the other if
No, we can
necessary.
make a resolution to move
Okay.
money.
All right.
I would prefer to do that, if you want to take money out of the reserve fund and put it in the maintenance fund, we could do that.
To cover the costs.
To me, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Anyone else? Do you
Is
have
some of this
anything
because
else?
you just want to have a clean track of what's
Well, plus
what's
I want to be
happening?
representative to the people and who
Okay.
uses the financial statements.
Okay.
Because, theoretically, everybody who has the opportunity to look at the financial statements is a user of the financial statements. And if you were someone, where would you expect snow removal to be?
In Florida.
Doesn't cost so
Actually,
much there.
I guess I would expect it somewhere on grounds or
Buildings
something
and
like
grounds.
that.
Building,
That's where
grounds,
it's been,
maintenance.
yeah.
That's where it's been up
Yeah,
until.
And that's
where
where
it
it
is.
is.
Okay.
So to put it under liability would be looks like you're understating grounds and
Okay.
greens expense.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else you want to add? Everyone ready to vote?
If you want us to make another motion next month to move funds around, we can do that. But at least the budget will be passed.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to think about it. It's.
Do you want us not to pass it? Because I don't want to call special meetings. Of course, I want it to,
The budget
we don't,
passed,
by law, we have till October to pass it.
Right.
Do you want to look at it and then maybe pass it, have a short, at the next committee of the whole, couldn't we have a 5-minute, board meeting just to pass the budget?
Well, the committee of the whole next month is
Yeah, they're
during the
combined.
combined.
It's canceled.
I think
Oh,
we've
that's
covered-
right.
I think we've covered enough of this, Andrea. We know, is this the only change we're talking about?
Yeah, one of the goals I think that we agreed on mutually, Andrew, when I started was I wanted to get the budget passed before we start the new fiscal
Right.
year. So let's get it passed.
Okay,
All right, let's have a roll call.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Colwell,
All right.
Ketman,
Aye.
Linsdown,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay,
So that means we're passing
Sorry,
the budget,
everybody,
right?
but, yeah, just with the
That's
amendment.
okay.
Just move
Okay.
things.
that's what we rely on you for, Andrea.
Thank
So,
you, sorry.
Yeah.
No, you know more about this stuff than we do.
We always have the discussions about things you freak.
All right, let's go on to the,
Yes, yes, you do.
let's
Especially
go
when
on
I
to the
won't
meeting
budge.
ordinance, please.
Okay.
That is
Page 79, I
page
think.
79.
Yeah, 79?
Yeah.
Can I have a motion to approve this
I move
ordinance?
that the board adopt ordinance number 2017-2018-8, ordinance setting the schedule of regular meetings for fiscal year 18 to 19 of the Board of Library Trustees.
I second motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Okay. Okay, prevailing wage is page 83. So can I have a motion, please, to,
I move that we pass ordinance number 2017/2018-9, ordinance adopting prevailing wage rates.
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain.
This has to be a roll call because
Oh,
it's an
that's, you're right,
ordinance.
you're right.
And
Sorry,
the
let's
other
do a
one
roll
too.
call.
The
Hmm?
schedule
The other one
has to
too.
be.
The schedule does?
Yeah, because it has to be the votes, we have to follow
Because it's
it.
an
That's
ordinance.
right.
Oh, that's right, because
Oh.
we have to put it on the, when we file it, yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Gina.
Yeah, thank you, good save.
Good.
Okay, so let's.
Go back.
Let's
we'll
just back
have-
up.
We'll have to back up, yeah, let's go back to the, meeting ordinance.
Yes.
Have a roll call.
Prevailing wage and.
I retract.
No, you can hold on
Oh,
to
all
that.
right.
Let's just revote on the,
Ordinance
schedule.
On the
of
schedule?
schedule.
Yeah,
Yes.
That was.
Kedman,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Kotzinis,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye,
ayes have it. Thank you.
Okay.
all right. Now we have Ann's motion for the prevailing wage, and who seconded?
Under Farkapisi.
Okay, all right, so any discussion?
We
So
don't really
let's-
have a choice on this.
Let's hit, I know, we
No,
don't
we
have,
don't.
we don't have a choice on any of them, but let's have a roll call too. Go ahead.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Kotzinis,
Aye.
Kedman,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, transfer to special reserve is page 87. Who'd like to make a motion to approve this?
I move we adopt ordinance 2017/2018-10 as presented to transfer
Money to-
$1 million to the general corporate fund.
I think it's
Up to.
up to.
Up to $1 million in the general corporate fund.
I'll
Two.
second. Oh, are you done?
I'll say to the special reserves. Well, as presented.
Mhm.
I'll second
Kathleen
that.
seconded. Any discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call for this.
Kotzinis,
Aye.
Kedman,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it. Thank you.
Okay. Things for the next meeting are in item G. Anything else you'd like to add, please?
And that's the double meeting, right?
Yeah.
Are we still
Yes.
starting at 7:00?
Yes,
Okay.
aren't we? Yeah, seven,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We didn't change the
Change the
time. Do you
time,
think we
just-
should?
Good, is it gonna be a long meeting?
I don't know.
I
We're
don't know.
talking about July
don't think so.
15th?
July
Yeah.
17th.
Okay.
I don't think we need to.
Okay,
Do you?
No, I don't think so.
all right.
And if it gets too long, we'll have to shuffle things around, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I put closed minute on that?
Yes, I already did.
Okay, on the
After we
agenda,
met
okay.
this afternoon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, anything else for other items? Nothing? Okay. All right, so who wants to we're gonna go to executive session. Who wants to make that motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have to actually have
Do
this
they
on
have
the
to read
record.
it? Don't
Yes.
they usually
Oh,
have to read it?
Oh, okay.
That's why I didn't do it.
Would you like me to?
Go ahead, George.
You'll withdraw
What
your
a
motion?
mind reader you are.
Okay, if you'll withdraw your motion, I can.
I withdraw my motion.
I move that the board enter into executive session per 5 ILCS 120/2C3, along with the executive director, Ryan Livergood, to consider the selection of a person to fill the vacancy in the library, in the office of library trustee.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Okay, 7:31.
So it doesn't have to be a
It
boys
could be a
book.
special.
Town.
I loved your
My
answer.
favorite thing that you said was, I'm not the best candidate.
That's
The
what I was
woman
gonna say.
before me was.
We just talked
I
Or
know.
about.
Live President Beckwith.
I know. Okay, it is 7:55 and we are back in open session. Anyone want to speak in public forum? All right. Anyone have any announcements? I just have these to pass around, the ILA Reporter and American Libraries. An interesting thing in American Libraries about going fine-free. Sure.
Can I just add to the
What time
announcements,
is it?
Joe? that,
Sure, please.
Next committee of the whole should be also Tuesday, July 17th.
You have it down as.
It's because we're
August
doing
7th.
both.
Well,
No.
no, it's just the regular meeting, and we'll include some elements, but it's technically, we'll take
Oh.
action
Oh.
at that meeting, so it's not a committee of the
Okay.
whole.
Okay.
It is
gotcha.
not.
Okay,
No,
I
it's
thought it
not.
was.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
what I
thought this
understood.
Isn't
I have
that,
it
that's
written
correct.
That's correct, yeah, yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
so we just have a regular board meeting and no.
And no committee of the whole, that's what we
necessarily-
decided.
right, it's just
Okay.
gonna be longer than usual because the,
Okay,
yeah.
I understand that. All right.
Anyone else? Okay, anyone want to move to adjourn?
I move,
Oh, yeah.
we adjourn, or we go.
Okay, he moved, she seconded.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Thank you, and it is 8:57. I mean, 7:57, sorry.
7:57.
That was a
I
fast
might get those questions done tonight.